Can you believe the fall anime is already over? It felt like it blew by. It had a lot of good anime, but I'm looking forward to this season as well. Starting off, I use LiveChart like pretty much everyone, I assume. I'm sorting by air date, and I use the English titles. First, I'll cover the ones that will be continue watching from last season, those being Blue Lock, My Hero, Eminence and Shadow, To Your Eternity, and Inuma-kun. Now onto the new stuff. Starting off, we have the ice guy and his cool female colleague. The setting is a workplace where a snowy white romance blows in like a blizzard. Himuro is a descendant of the Yuki Onas living in modern times and a newbie office worker. When he gets emotionally overwhelmed, he ends up causing blizzards or starts building snowmen in igloos. Whenever his secret romantic feelings for his unique yet kind coworker Fuyutsuki intensify, he sometimes ends up freezing those around him. Then there's Futsuyuki. Everyone always sees her as the cool type. But Fuyutsuki is actually also pretty curious about her mysterious coworker Himuro. Their relationship continues to gradually evolve daily through work and work events. Eventually, they start to spend time with each other outside of the work, but they're both a bit awkward when it comes to love, so they just can't seem to get any closer. A heartwarming workplace fantasy rom-com starring a seemingly cool couple is about to begin. I will probably not watch this because I'm not much into workplace fantasy rom-com. It sounds interesting though, kinda reminds me of Senko-san in a way, but I'll probably skip it. Ningen Fushin, the adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. Nick, a heartbroken light warrior who was kicked out of the martial arts adventuring party and deceived by his lover, is a resident of this city. Fed up with everything, he visits a bar only to find bad people, adventurers living it up, and uninteresting tablemates. As he drowns his sorrows in lukewarm beer, all of his irritation and discontent burst forth in one declaration: humans can't be trusted. He thought he was only voicing his own frustration, but in reality, the statement comes from 4 voices. Thus begins the adventure of 4 people who carry their own scars. I'll probably check this out. It seems like an interesting concept. I don't really remember anything that's been like this before, so I'll check it out. The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. Despite her supposed ineptitude with regular magic, Princess Anisphia defies the autocracy's expectations by developing magicology, a unique magical theory based on memories from her past life. One day, she witnesses the brilliant noblewoman Ophelia unjustly stripped of her title as the kingdom's next monarch. That's when Anisphia concocts a plan to help Ophelia regain her good name, which somehow involves them living together and researching magic. Little do these 2 ladies know, however, that their chance encounter will alter not only their own futures, but those of the kingdom and the entire world. It sounds like an interesting concept, so I may check it out depending on what I hear about it. The next one is Bungo Stray Dogs 4. I watched like the first 2 seasons, and I just couldn't really get into it. The characters were interesting, but I didn't really like the story, so I stopped watching it, so I will probably skip this. Technoroid Overmind. The story of wretched, beautiful androids is set on the entertainment tower Babel, the new source of hope for humanity after climate change has submerged the world underwater. Several unique magical units compete to rise to the top of Babel by moving the hearts of both humans and androids with their performances. I will check this out, mostly because it's a music anime, and I really like music animes. Although, depending on what route it takes, I'll probably drop it. I see that it's a male-led cast, and usually that turns into like BL, and I'm not interested in that. However, if it goes more towards the Vivi route, I'll definitely check it out. Surun no Linking Shot. From what I've seen of it, it seems like a bow anime, and it is the 2nd season, so I probably won't check that out since I've never heard of it, and I've never watched the 1st season. Tomo-chan is a girl. Boyish high school girl Tomo wants her childhood friend Kubota to see her as an actual girl, but every attempt ends up in vain. Will Junichiro ever realize Tomo's romantic feelings towards him? I'll probably check this out. I've read some of the manga, and I've heard things about it, and it seems like a pretty good story. Revenger. As Master Assassin Yuen looks into a series of assassinations made on the Grand Samurai clan, the Satsuma, he encounters Raizo, member and survivor of one of the attacks. However, they discover the true nature of those murders is bigger than overstolen resources. As they get closer to the truth, will they come out alive to exact revenge? I'll check this out. I'm not huge into historical, however I like the concept of it. Spy Classroom. Conflict-ravaged nations now deploy covert operatives instead of missiles. Lily is recruited into spy training, but her practical skills are absolutely abysmal. Desperate to pass, she leaps at the chance to join the mysterious Tomoshibi team. Too bad the team is filled with even more hopeless spies. Together they must conquer the impassable mission, and best their genius instructor. But the true purpose behind their classroom is more harrowing than they can imagine. So spy classroom, assassination classroom, it sounds like a similar concept. They have to best their genius instructor, things like that. I'll check it out. It sounds interesting, although I do see romance in the title, so we'll see where that goes. So Danmachi Season 4, Part 2, I believe it is. I'll definitely check that out, and I will cover it. Onima I Am Now Your Sister. Mahiro was just a normal erotic game-loving dude, until he woke up one morning as a woman. Turns out his mad scientist little sister Mihari tried out one of her new experiments on him, with a disastrous outcome as far as Mahiro is concerned. But Mihari is as determined to study him as he is determined to get back to his shut-in, game-playing life. And one thing's for sure, life is going to get a whole lot weirder from here on out. I think I'll check it out. It's a slice-of-life comedy. It could get kind of weird now that he's in a girl's body, but I guess we'll see how they take that. Sounds interesting though. Short form, so skip. The Ice Blade Sorcerer shall rule the world. The Ice Blade Sorcerer is hailed as the most powerful sorcerer in the world, and the one who inherited this title, Ray White, struggles to deal with his own immense power. After fighting in the Far East War, his last accomplishment, he vanished from the battlefield along with a deeply scarred psyche. 3 years have passed since then, and Ray has enrolled at the Arnold Academy of Magic, a school attended by elite sorcerers from all around the world. Ray is his first ordinary to attend this academy since it was founded, so he's greeted by looks of scorn and contempt from his noble-born students. Now he and the priceless friends he has found there are about to become entangled in multiple schemes. So begins the story of the most powerful sorcerer's school life filled with both friendship and hardship. So it sounds like it's going to be pretty average just by the sound of it, ordinary person who's actually overpowered is probably going to overturn the academy, but I'll check it out. Farming life in another world. Life cut short by illness at the age of 39 years old, Hyaku knows not to take the simple blessings for granted. When a godlike figure gives him a chance to live his life again, Hiraku has only the simplest of wishes for his new life. To live peacefully, to speak the local language, and to spend his days on a farm. Fresh air, sunshine, honest work, and good company combine to form the happy, peaceful existence Hiraku has always dreamed of. I'll definitely check this out. Farm-related skills, while it was pretty meh, I still liked it, and it seems like this is going to focus more on the farming aspect, so I'm definitely going to check it out. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. In a world where fairies are bought and sold to the highest bidder, humans aren't exactly on the friendliest terms with the Fae folk. But friendship is exactly what Anne seeks with Charlie, her new fairy bodyguard, though he's not so keen on the idea. As his new master, Anne tasks him with escorting her through a particularly dangerous area, but with a reluctant bodyguard eager to escape a life of servitude, she'll have to deal with a lot more than she bargained for. I'm not going to check this out. I'm not really into fairy animes. Short form, skip. The Legend of Heroes, Trials of Cold Steel, Northern War. Lavi is born in North Ambria, the poorest region in the northwestern Zamoria. She enlists in the Northern Jaegers, the largest in the continent, to protect her hometown and distinguish herself from her grandfather Vlad, who was once a hero but betrayed Northern Ambria. Her devotion to her missions often earned her violations of regulations, and one day she is ordered to assemble a platoon for an impossible spy mission to Harmonia to gather information on the Imperial Hero, a mysterious threat to North Ambria. It's only categorized as action, but I'll check it out. Buddy Daddies. Targets they go after never get away, but somehow this hitman team finds himself looking after a 5-year-old girl, and so begins the family life of a hot-blooded and cool-headed team of hired killers and a naive and innocent little girl. Will they be able to balance career and parenthood, and will this temporary family find happiness? I'll check this out. I'm kind of a sucker for animes that have cute little girls just because the facial expressions they make, so I'll check it out. Giant Beasts of Ours. The great beasts created the land, but humans stole it. Angered, the beasts began eating humans, who in turn called upon the gods to fight the beasts. In the age of sword, heroes, and mythology, giant beasts are hunted by humans for profit. Jiro, who makes his living hunting beasts, encounters Kumi, who is being chased by someone and in the moment decides to save her. As rumors spread regarding humanity and a mysterious experiment, together they seek to discover the world's secrets. I'll check it out, it sounds interesting. Tsundere Villainous. I looked at the description earlier and I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not really into that type of stuff. Chilling in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. Dario, a dark soldier in the Demon King's army who cannot use magic, has risen to the position of assistant to the 4 generals with his talent and energy. However, as soon as the 4 generals are replaced, Dario is fired from the army. Dario is devastated, but when he arrives in a human village, he finds that his adventuring skills, which are supposed to be useless to demons, have blossomed. Dario decides to spend his life in this village and the requests start pouring in. I'll definitely check this out. It sounds like it's going to be kind of meh. However, I don't think this concept has really been done with an older protagonist, so I'll look forward to it. The Angel Next Door spoils me rotten. Miharu is a beautiful girl whose classmates all call her Angel. Not only is she a star athlete with perfect grades, she's also dropped dead gorgeous. Amane, an average guy and self-admitted slob, has never thought much of divine beauty. Despite attending the same school, everything changes, however, when he happens to see Mihari sitting alone in the park during a rainstorm. Thus begins the strange relationship between this incredibly unlikely pair. So the title kind of gives it away, but she's an angel, and during the rainstorm, I assume he sees that. I might check it out. Even though it's romance, it does have the comedy tag. So yeah, I'll at least try it out. Trigun Stampede, there's nothing about it. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. You can't be happy if you're just strong, even if you're the strongest exorcist in the world. Exorcist Kuga, called an unrivaled genius, is betrayed by the imperial court and about to die. Resolving to be happy in his next life, he uses a secret reincarnation technique he created and reincarnates in another world, and so he receives a new name, Seika, and a new life. With the strongest exorcist techniques and the strongest demons working with him, what lies ahead of him? The peaceful life he wants, or this is the start of a story no one's ever seen before. The story of the strongest exorcist in a fantasy world. Well, since it says this is a story no one's ever seen, I'll check it out because it'll be something new, even though I doubt it will be, but I'll check it out. Unite Up, there's nothing about it. NieR Automata, everyone and their grandmother's going to be watching this, so clearly I'm going to. From the previews I've seen, it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to the Misfit of Demon King Academy 2. It's pretty average, like it's not really good. It's good bad, to where the MC is so overpowered and he knows he is, and he flaunts it. Like he purposefully gives into the trope instead of holding himself back. So I'm looking forward to watching that and covering it. Don't Torve Me Nagatoro Second Attack. I'm looking forward to this. I read the manga, I keep up with it, and I really like the story, so I'll definitely check that out. Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. Mitsuha is an 18-year-old girl who's often mistaken for a middle schooler due to her childlike face and small stature. The story begins when she loses her parents and her older brother at the same time in an accident and ends up all alone in the world. One day, as she worries about how she'll survive, she's given the world-jumping ability by a mysterious being that allows her to go back and forth between this world and an isekai. Now that she has this ability, she comes up with a plan for the future in which she saves 1 billion yen in each world for a total of 2 billion yen, 80,000 coins. I'll definitely check this out. I read a lot of manhwa, and the concept of being able to be in the normal world and go to a different world to make money is pretty common in manhwa, so now that they're doing that in an anime, I think I'll definitely check it out. By the Grace of God Season 2, I didn't watch Season 1. I've always wanted to, I just never really got into it. So I won't check out Season 2. The Tale of Outcasts. The demon by her side is her salvation. The girl by his side is his pastime. Their encounter in the late 19th century British Empire begins the tale of a search for someplace to belong. To their fellow outcasts, this demon and girl whisper their tale in the dark of night. So that's not really much to go on. Judging by the art, it looks like it'll be kind of meh, but I'll check it out. Handyman Saito in Another World. Handyman Saito has never been anyone special. All his life, he's had average grades, ordinary athletic skill, and commonplace job. But his remarkable path takes a turn when he wakes up in another world. Here, warriors, wizards, and elves accompany him on quests delving into dungeons, and Saito realizes for the first time what it's like to be needed. After all, who other than the handyman could be trusted to open locked treasure chests and repair his allies' equipment? Beginning with the simple "thank you," this is the story of an ordinary person's fulfilling life. So this seems like it's gonna be like a healing anime, so I think I'll check it out. It sounds interesting. Inspector Season 2, I didn't watch Season 1, so I'll skip that. Ippon again. After one last tournament and an embarrassing loss in the final round, Michi decides to call it quits on the sport of judo. Between high school social activities and entrance exams, she'll have no time to compete in the martial arts she loves so much. But putting aside old hobbies is a part of growing up. Still, the love of judo lingers, and it comes back full force when she meets her new classmate Toa, the girl who bested Michi in her final match. Toa wants to form a judo club at their school, but she'll need new members to get it up and running. United by their love of judo, they'll throw their passions into the ring together and score Ippon again. I'm definitely going to check this out, because I do judo, so I'm very interested to see an anime about it. High Card, I've read the description and it's very confusing. After discovering that his orphanage was on the brink of closing due to financial stress, Finn, who was living freely on the streets, set out for a casino with an aim to make a fortune. However, nothing could have prepared Finn for the nightmare that was awaiting him. There, Finn encountered a car chase and a bloody shootout caused by a man's lucky card. Finn will eventually learn what the shootout was about. The world order can be controlled by a set of 52 X-playing cards with the power to bestow different superhuman powers and abilities to ones that possess them. With these cards, people can access the hidden power of the buddy that can be found within themselves. And basically it's a fight over those cards between like the mafia, gangs, stuff like that. It sounds interesting, but I feel like they may fumble it. I'll check it out. The Vampire Dies in No Time 2. I didn't watch Season 1, so I won't watch Season 2. Malevolent Spirits. Filled with rage against spirits known as Tsukumogami, Hayoma is sent to live with Botan to help him see a different side. Though both are part of a clan that return the spirits back to their world with divine powers, their experiences with the otherworldly vessels are vastly different. Kunato arrived with loved ones, and Nagatsuki saved them. Can she get through to him? I may check it out just to see what it's about. Vinland Saga 2. I didn't watch Season 1. I tried to read the manga and I just couldn't get into it, so I had no interest in watching the anime. However, I heard good things about it, so I may eventually catch up with it and watch Season 2. Ayakashi Triangle. Matsuri is an exorcist ninja who exorcises evil spirits called Ayakashi. His childhood friend Suzu tends to attract Ayakashi, so he secretly protects her from them. But now, Suzu has got the eye of Shirogane, an Ayakashi who looks like a cat but rules over all Ayakashi as her king. I may check this out just because it's ecchi. Looking at the art, I doubt it'll be above average. Reborn to master the blade from hero king to extraordinary squire. After living a life devoted to serving his country and people, Inglis, who wished to be free of a king's burden and to train, was actually hurt, but as a beautiful girl. Reborn in the far future as a daughter to renowned knights, Inglis can now focus on mastering the martial arts. A wish has been granted and Inglis will be on the front lines, fulfilling the dream of becoming the strongest knight. I may check this out just because it's learning the sword, and I kind of like those stories. However, I'm not a big fan of gender swaps, like a guy being transported into a female body. I just don't really like those stories. Kubo won't let me be invisible. Junta has just one goal, to experience youth to the fullest. But this is easier said than done. Junta is so socially invisible, people at school would swear he skipped class even when he's sitting right behind them. Everything changes when Junta meets Kubo. She's the only person who pays Junta any attention, and her constant teasing is sure to turn Junta's quiet life upside down because Kubo won't let him be invisible. I think I'll skip this, I'm not too interested in that kind of story. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Tsuyoshi, an ordinary salaryman, is suddenly transported to another world one day. A unique skill he gains upon arrival in this world is the seemingly useless online grocery. Ukoda is discouraged at first, but the modern foods he's able to bring to his new world using his skills prove to have some unbelievable effects. I think I'll check this out just because it has to do with cooking, however, I don't think it'll be that good. Bofudi, there's nothing about it, so I guess skip. Kaina of the Great Snow Sea. In another world, an ever-growing sea of snow has engulfed the planet's surface. The people struggle to survive living around the roots of a massive orbital tree, whose branches spread into the celestial membrane high above the ground. Changes come to this dying world after Kaina, a boy from the celestial membrane, encounters a girl from the surface called Ruhia. I'll probably check this out. It seems like an interesting concept. Pocket Monsters, skip. D4 DJ All Mix. That sounds interesting, but there's nothing about it. The fruit of evolution too. Before I knew it, my life had it made. Welcome Barbador Magic Academy's newest teacher, Seichi. The first thing on his syllabus is to be the school's savior, but that'll be tested with beautiful teachers and crazy students. Disciplinary action and colleague camaraderie isn't even half of it, because the demon cult is on the move to revive the demon. Not only is the academy in danger, the world is. Can Seichi protect them all? I'll check it out because it has the harem tag. Card fight, skip. The Fire Hunter. Outside the magical barriers lies a world overrun by fiery beasts known as flame demons, and the only ones who can protect humanity are the Fire Hunters. In the dark woods where the beasts roam is where Toko, a young villager, is rescued from attack by one of these sealed trackers, Koshi. But their meeting was no accident, and their new destiny begins. So there's not really much to go off of, so I may just check it out of curiosity. Flag Leah. I'm not interested in seeing a 3rd grader live with 4 older brothers, so I'll skip that. This is a 2nd season, so I'll skip that, and that has nothing about it. So overall, it's looking to be a pretty decent season. There are a lot of shows I will start out watching this season. There's a show for just about every genre. The only one I don't see is horror and mecha, I believe. I'm looking forward to this though. I think it's going to be a good season. But I guess I'll leave it at that. Tell me what you're looking forward to the most in the comments below. I am legitimately curious, but that's about it. So yeah.